Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome and thank you for those of you showing your gorgeous faces. It's so much nicer to speak to people than to a television set filled with names. So thank you. For those of you who don't want to show your screen because you don't have makeup on, who cares? Who cares? You're gorgeous no matter what. Okay, here's Katie. All right, so let's get started. I see we have a couple guests with us this morning. Thank you so much. Let's start with Yvonne Ramirez. Yvonne, welcome. Legendary Escrow. Is she still there? Did she pop off? I think she must have popped off. Okay. Well, I just admitted Melissa, but Karen, you've been waiting so patiently. Welcome, Karen, and thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, everybody. Just not too much to update you with this morning, but just wanted to remind you, I had Gina send you guys all the new brochure that started on February 1st. So again, we're excited to announce our unlimited refrigerant coverage for air conditioning. So if you haven't heard about that, you have now. It's exciting. We're excited to offer it. The new plans are really great. If you would like a brochure, if you didn't get the email or you didn't download it, you can see me one-on-one. I'll put my information in the chat. I'll be happy to email that over to you. As soon as I get my shipment, which should be any day now, I will be running them out to the office as well so that you guys have some hard copies there. But just make sure to reach out to me if you're writing an offer and you need current pricing. I'm happy to, to quote your pricing as you're writing the offer. I'm working 7 days a week. I check my phone every hour on the weekend. So if you are writing something up, I certainly will respond quickly. I have a lot of agents right now that are texting me for pricing, so I have no problem with that. So don't feel like you're interrupting me or bothering me. It's a quick text message and I keep this phone on me at all times. I work realtor hours just like you guys do. So I'll put my information in the chat so that you guys have it. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so, so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, Karen.
And does anybody have any questions for Karen? No, I appreciate you sending me your updated brochure, though.
I love her seller's insurance. You give that when you go into escrow, and it really protects your sellers. It's a fabulous program. So I forgot about it until you reminded me.
Did you guys hear her? She's talking about the seller's policy.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it until you sent out an email reminding us all about the sellers.
Yeah, we do have sellers coverage for you guys to cover your seller during the listing period up until close of escrow, and it's very, very cheap. It's 67 cents a day for, 81 cents a day for single family homes and 67 cents a day for condos. So 81 cents a day for single family. And it's really great coverage. It's not due unless they close escrow. So it really is a no-brainer to just slap that on every listing that you take so that your sellers are protected. They get up to $2,000 coverage on the basic coverage for AC and furnace and a water heater, plumbing and electrical all through the listing period. So the key is though to get it on there before the home inspection. That's key. So if you guys have questions on that, I'm happy to send out information on that as well.
I have another question on the casita. The difference between attached and detached?
On casita coverage, we have, if it's attached to the main house and shares a common wall and it's attached, it's included in the warranty. So as long as everything's under 5,000 square feet on the whole house. The only time we charge additional for a casita is if it's completely detached from the home and under 750 square feet, and then it's $200. So if it's over 750 square feet, we really consider that another home, and that's a separate warranty. So that's how that works.
That's good to know. That is good to know. Because there are a lot of places that have 900 square feet, 2-bedroom casitas on the property. So that would be
I will say most of them fall under the 750, but I have had 3 or 4 of them that have been over that. So
I have a question, Karen. So on the seller's coverage, we get a listing and the seller puts the seller coverage on, and then they have a home inspection and the home inspector says, hey, this is an issue. Is that something that would be repaired through home warranty?
Correct. So that's what the seller's coverage is for. That's why you must put it on before the home inspection. If you wait until after, then it becomes a pre-existing condition that everybody knew about. So if you put it on at the time of the listing, or even when you're opening escrow, then you're covered. If they come out and they look at the AC and they say that, hey, the AC is not cooling properly, you need to have a qualified professional out here, then they just pay the $75 service fee and have somebody come out just like they would with the buyer's coverage. So yeah, as long as it's a covered item under those items, you know, then yes, it would be something we would cover.
That's
And it's up to $2,000, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Up to 2,000. So that, I mean, that's still good to know.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, perfect. Thank you. Any other questions for Karen? No? Okay, well, thank you so much. You're always a wealth of information. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much, Gina. Appreciate it.
All right, talk to you soon. Okay, I saw Yvonne pop back on. Yvonne, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome.
So I have a couple updates for you guys. I finally was able to finalize the Escrow NetSheet app. It is live on the Legendary Escrow website. It's going to be updated. The link that's reflecting in the VAC is going to be updated so that that tab is available. So now it's based off location. So whatever branch you open your escrow orders with, you can automatically pick that tab at the top of the Legendary Escrow website. If you click the tab, you pick your option of which branch, and then it'll automatically open up the app for you so that you can input all the information that you need, just in case you can't get a hold of your escrow officer or assistant, over the weekend, after hours. That's available to you now. So it automatically populates the correct escrow fees and title fees for that branch location. So, it's I'm working with Chris and Maria to make sure that that's available for you guys on the VAC. And then there is another marketing item that should go out today. It's just letting you know the county holidays, every single county for California. And so it could be updated, let's say a week, 2 weeks from now, things could change. So just make sure that it's subject to the times and changes of the hours. So I'm just giving you what I have that is available as of right now. So if you have any transactions that are going to be closing and we have, holidays coming up, just make sure you pay attention to that so that you know if there's going to be a delay on your escrow transaction, and get in contact with your escrow officer so that you can make sure that you guys have no delays.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it, Yvonne.
Not a problem.
Any questions? Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Melissa Duran, I see that you are on. Where are you?
I am here. Good morning. I'm here. Good morning, everyone. It's a wonderful day. Just want to touch on a couple of things. One, when you guys are ordering your property profiles, it's a good thing to know. I've been getting a lot of questions pertaining to an uninsured deed. Now, the uninsured deed doesn't mean that that specific document, specifically, for example, would be maybe a quick claim deed that was done between two individuals. It wasn't title insured. Escrow didn't verify, title didn't verify the information corresponding to that deed. So when we do a preliminary report, we call it an uninsured deed. So what we have to happen in title is we have to validate the validity of that document. So we send to escrow what is known as an affidavit of uninsured deed. That form has to be filled out to the best of the knowledge it can, because we just want to double check that, whoever quit claim over, they did understand why they added somebody onto title or why they quit claim that individual. Something very simple is just a documentation verifying the validity of that document that was recorded. That title has to question. So it's a very simple little thing, nothing that it's like, oh my God, it's going to held up title or anything like that. It's just a form that needs to be taken care of at the time of escrow corresponding to that property. The other thing on that is I've mentioned before was the HERO program, or corresponding to a lien and agreement that will show up on a profile. That too as well is recorded. Normally it's recorded after the 31st day and it's shown on the chain of title. It's also shown on the tax roll as well. So that's also something that you guys would see on the property profile as well. Our Title V system, there's a tab in there called Orders. Now the Orders is not live yet. That's where all your guys' transactions when you open up with Landwood Title will go. It's kind of a timeline. Will tell you that the prelim was in, the funds were in, if the property has already been funded, and so on and so forth. So that part is not live yet. Okay, you'll see it when you go into Title V. It's grayed out. So just want to make sure you guys are aware of that, because I know a lot of people have been trying to click on that and they don't see anything or nothing is happening on that. So right now it's not live, and that's only on the Title V. It's called Orders on there as well. So just want to make sure that I mentioned that on there. The other thing we have is this month on the 24th, we have Title Services Day in your office. Imelda has been graciously awesome to create time frames for me. I'll be in your office with you guys. If you've already signed up, this is where I'll have that opportunity with you to answer any of your questions, to help you download the app, to get you signed up, to get you started on your farm, and so on and so forth. I know there's a question. Go ahead.
What day is that, Melissa?
It is on the 24th.
The 24th.
Sorry, 23rd. My mistake. 23rd. Tuesday the 23rd. Sorry.
Okay.
Tuesday, 23rd, you guys. I was looking on Wednesday. Sorry, it's not a Wednesday. It's a Tuesday on the 23rd. So a lot of information there. I hope you guys, Imelda asked me if there's more agents that want to sit down with me that day. She's definitely reached out to me, say, hey, can we add another hour or another half hour or anything like that? Definitely, you guys, I'm available for you guys. This is your guys' Title Services Day. This is your day where I can help you out. And we're going to be doing this every single month to get you started, to make sure that I can answer any of your questions. I'm here for you guys. If you have any questions, concerns, please feel free, reach out to me. I'll put my information on the chat if you want to reach out to me. If you have any questions or concerns, this is a great opportunity for you guys, so we can get started with anything that I can help you out. Even if it's a title question or just a farming question or a profile question, I'm available and here to help you guys out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you don't have Title V downloaded on your phone, if you're not sure how to order a farm, if you're not sure, hey, how are these agents getting all these email addresses? Contact Imelda to set an appointment to come in on Title Day. Melissa will see you either one-on-one, or she will do a Zoom meeting with you if you can't come into the office. So we're really doing everything that we can to get these incredible tools into your hands, because the faster you get them, the faster you're going to be generating more leads. So reach out. It's important to your business that you do. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate everything that you do. Anybody have questions for Melissa? Okay. Well, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Will do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we are going to share my screen now. And let's go here. Perfect. And I don't know what to do here, so I'll just leave that. Please do one here. There we go. Or maybe I'll do this. There we go. That kind of removes all this stuff out of the way. Okay, so oops. Let me go to slide, the beginning, and here we go. Okay, so we have gone through, let me back up one previous. And Amanda, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everyone. I was just going to comment on the title day. You can go ahead and call me or send me an email so I can see what times are available. We're a little bit booked up, but like Melissa said, that she'll be willing to add a couple minutes or hours into the day. So that's pretty much the
Good. Thank you. And thank you for all you do with helping the agents. You're wonderful. So thank you. Okay. Congratulations to those who have gotten listings. Listings are just gold today, as you know. Our goal for February is 31. We're currently at 12. So congratulations to SP, the Marks Real Estate Group. Linda Kroll, Judy and Bob Allen, Angie Torres, Debbie Billman, Patty Illingworth, Alonso, Debbie Billman again, Judy and Bob again, and Vicki Dawson. So congratulations to you guys. It's not easy out there, but you're out there making it happen, so kudos to you. On the sales side, our goal is 32 escrows. We're currently at 12, so we can certainly pick that up a notch. There we go. So congratulations, Linda Kroll, Lupe, and Doris, Abraham, Angie, the Kennedy team, Patty, George Lopez team, Mark's Real Estate Group, Patty again, and Deborah Farrell. So congratulations to you guys. I appreciate everything that you're doing. And I'm here if you need help with any of it. Okay, let's see. We have a few chats. Just make sure that, okay, we're good there. Okay, so I want to talk to you a few things today. One is escalation clauses. And if you've not heard of an escalation clause, they usually come out in times like these where there's little listings and lots of buyers. And many times there's multiple offers on these listings. And it's a way of trying to get your buyer's offer accepted. So I wanted to reach out because there's been a couple of questions and issues, and I just want to make sure we understand what they are and what they mean. So the escalation clause is a provision where the buyer offers to pay more for a property than another buyer without knowing what price that other buyer is making. So in your offer, for example, maybe under paragraph 3 under additional terms, you might want to write purchase price shall be $1,000 higher than any other offer. That's an escalation clause, okay? It's also sometimes referred to as a relative bid or a sharp bid, just so you know the verbiage. When are they used and why? There we go. They're used when a buyer is looking to make their offer stand out in a multiple offer or competitive environment. Also allows the buyer to make the highest offer, but only by a minimal amount necessary to beat out the others. There we go. Is it legal? The answer is yes, when it's drafted correctly. Escalation clauses can be used to create a binding contract. The buyer and seller client should be advised to seek legal advice for questions. Understand, Darren Welsh is here for us. He is there to protect us and our licenses. He's not there for your clients. Your clients need to go find their own attorney and their attorney when things like this are happening. I'm not even sure what that is. CSR audio. I'm gonna deny this. It won't let me do anything. It won't let me in there. There's something on my screen if you're wondering what I'm doing here that popped up and it.
I just wouldn't click on it.
Okay, we're just gonna ignore it for right now. Okay, so yes, have your clients, speak to their legal counsel about what it means, because it could have ramifications as we're going to talk about. So you can include a cap or a maximum price, and that you're going to say buyer may offer $1,000 more than any other offer, but not to exceed a certain maximum price. So if the listing price, let's say, is $500,000 and there's multiple offers going in, you can say buyer may offer whatever it is they want to offer more than any other offer, but not to exceed maybe $550 or $520, depending on where he is. The pros, it limits the buyer's exposure when another buyer makes an outrageously high offer. The cons, it reveals the maximum price at which the buyer is willing to buy. So the seller can simply counter at that maximum price or use it as leverage to get higher offers. Does that make sense? So, there's definitely pros and cons for this. Bottom line is the buyer must decide if they want to include a cap, and also should talk to their attorney about what that means and potential consequences. On the flip side of that, you can include a floor or a minimum price. So in this case, you'd say buyer may offer X dollars or $1,000 higher than any other offer received, whichever is greater. The pro, if no other offers, the seller can accept the buyer's offer and create a binding contract, because you said $520,000 or $1,000 higher than any other offer. So he put that floor, the buyer put that floor there. Of course, the cons are the buyer's floor price could be higher than the next highest offer, including the escalation amount causing the buyer to pay more than the buyer would pay otherwise. So bottom line is buyer must decide if they want to include a floor and should seek legal advice. Let's see who's asking a question here. So you can do that with selling multiple counter offers. Yes, yes, you can. And that's when these, you'll see a lot of these on multiple offers, okay? Requiring verification of next highest offer. And this is a really important step because you just said, my buyer's gonna offer $1,000 more than any other offer, right? How do you know what that is, what that highest offer is? So you can include when you're writing up the offer, include a requirement that the seller provide proof of the highest offer received with the right to contact the other buyer or their agent to confirm the offer is in fact real. While agents are often uncomfortable handling over other offers without the use of a confidentiality agreement, offers themselves are not confidential. You know that. They may be shared with other agents or prospective buyers. So again, in your PRBS, the SBSA, I think it's in one of the listing attachments, you'll see it throughout. Offers are not necessarily confidential. So you absolutely can disclose what those terms and conditions are to other people unless a written confidentiality agreement is used. So if you're going to do a highest and best, that's not a bad idea to make sure you have proof that, you know, if there is another offer for 540, they're going to send that to you so you can see it. Okay. What if multiple offers include an escalation clause? So what if everybody does an escalation clause in their offer? That can get exciting, right? So it's unlikely the seller can accept just one of the offers to create a contract because they're not giving a specified amount. They're just saying, we're going to give, unless they put the floor, that we're going to give $1,000 more than the highest offer. So it could be impossible to determine the purchase price. So the seller would be well advised in a situation like this to issue multiple counter offers, okay, and clean that up. Risk management concerns, obviously brokers, we're a little concerned because we always want our clients to make sure they understand what they're signing and what they're doing. And they may want to just talk to their own attorney about what this means. With respect to your brokerage, you know, we don't have a policy discouraging escalation clauses. We, you know, right now, I'm going to chime in on what Darren says in just a moment. But again, as long as you've told your client, if we do this, we recommend you speak to your legal counsel about what this means, then document your file that you had this conversation with your client. And if you're in SkySlope, if you click on log and then click, there's a section called notes. You can go right in there and type, I had a conversation today with my client. We discussed the pros and cons of an escalation clause. I expressed that they should speak to their own attorney. The client said, no, they're happy and they want to move forward. Great. The date and time is all documented. So should something come back later, you go right to your notes section and you've got everything right there. So keeping those notes is really an important part. For more information on this, there is a quick guide that you can click on when you get the handout. Here's the legal Q&A about escalation clauses. Remember, the legal Q&As are also awesome because you can print those out and give those to your client. So it's, you know, if you're a little concerned about how to explain this, that's a good thing. So when you get this handout, you can click on the link, go to the Q&A and print it out for your client. As for Darren Welsh, our legal counsel, he says the escalation clause is not the cure-all for winning multiple offers. A seller may be unfamiliar or intimidated that they don't get to choose the best offer, that because this one will offer the highest sales price and feel that the clause complicates the sale and toss it out. It creates the exact opposite result for the buyer. So just remember, it's not always about the money, and the most attractive offer is the easiest offer for the seller, meeting all their needs. It's the cleanest one for the seller is what the seller's going to want. So even if you have an escalation clause, if you're asking the seller to pay for all these other things, it may not be in the seller's best interest. So when you're writing an offer, just think about what boxes you're checking. Before you ask the seller, if you're in a multiple offer situation, before you ask the seller to pay for a termite report, look at your client and say, hey, do you mind paying the 80 bucks for the termite report, right? Do you mind, paying for your home warranty? Do you mind, taking care of whatever it is? Because the less you ask the seller to pay, the higher the bottom line for the seller. On the flip side, obviously your buyer doesn't want to pay more than they have to, but if they're in multiple offers and they're looking at you and they say, what do I need to do to get this house? Those are some ideas that you just want to be able to express, right? Does anybody have any questions about the escalation clause or how they work? Okay.
Gina?
Yes. Hi, Lance.
Yeah, just a question. I mean, if they offer an escalation clause with a cap that sort of tips their hand at how high they'll go, can we just, and then there's all this legalese about, providing proof of what the other buyer offered. I would think we'd be able to just counter out the escalation clause verbiage and just counter with their highest price. Wouldn't that be permissible?
Yes, that is permissible.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that's what a lot of sellers will do anyway, because we're seeing more and more escalation clauses. And sometimes it's frustrating if your buyer says, no, I don't want to write an escalation clause, and then these other buyers are throwing them in. Your buyer might feel like, well, I'm not competing here. So just making that offer clean, giving, my best advice is this. If I know we're in multiple offers, I'm going to go to my buyer and I'm going to say, hey, buyer, here's the deal. We're up against several offers. Let's make it as clean as we can possibly make it, number one. And number two, I want you to come in so strong that if tomorrow we get an email from the agent saying, I've accepted another offer, you feel good about it. You're just like, okay, that's fine. I'm all in. Let's find another property. And I know properties are scarce right now, but you know what? It's up to us as agents to go find them those properties. Maybe farms, saying, here's my buyer. If you're interested, let me know, because agents are getting listings like that every day. But keep your offer clean, make it strong, and that's probably the safest way to go. Okay. SELM, and the only reason I'm talking about this is because I'm seeing two things on a lot of the SELMs that are being missed, and I just wanted to double remind you. Paragraph at the top, you'll see I circled GPS, right? Our MLS is called Greater Palm Springs MLS. If you were to call CDAR and you ask them, they will tell you it's GPS standing for Greater Palm Springs. CDAR is the board we belong to, and it is Flex, and GPS/Flex is appropriate too. But just remember, GPS stands for Greater Palm Springs, so whenever it's asking what MLS, just put GPS, or GPS/Flex is fine too. I'm also seeing a lot of agents selecting paragraph 3D for a period of blank calendar days or until whatever date. Paragraph 3B is not the appropriate paragraph, because that paragraph says MLS has not adopted the National Association of Realtors Clear Cooperation Policy, and ours has. So the paragraph you're going to use always is paragraph 4, seller instruction to broker to exclude property. And if you're not putting it on until a date certain, you'd use 4A. If you're not putting it on the market ever, it's 4B, okay? So those are the two things that I've just been seeing a lot that are incorrect. I just want to make sure you know. And then don't forget, when you take a listing, even though it's got the SELM, this SELM form must be emailed to the Board of Realtors within 24 hours of you taking the listing. So make sure, and I put the email address right here, selm@cdaronline.org, okay? And then just remember, when you have an SELM, there's no marketing, it's not in the MLS. So of course, no commissions offered, days in MLS aren't running, and it's not going to any of the distribution channels. You can show it to any Berkshire client. So with that being said, you should immediately put it into our buy-side program so that all our agents are aware of it. Hey guys, inventory is limited. We all know that. It's really nice to be able to tell clients, yeah, we get listings all the time, and we know about them before they're hitting the market. That's how you're getting buyers. That's how you're getting sellers now. It's because we are communicating as a team, as a group, and we can share this information with each other. So it's really important when you get a listing, even if there's no SELM or coming soon, please get it into buy side so we can share it with each other right away. Same if you get a buyer, I'm going to tell you again, if you have buyers, please get your buyers uploaded into the buy side system. We don't get their contact information. All we get is what the buyer is looking for. So when we're going to a listing presentation, and those are right now, it is so competitive and everybody is biting tooth and nail for these listings. So you want to be able to say, hey, look, in my Berkshire system right now, there's 10 buyers looking for a home just like yours. It's really helpful to the whole team and our company and you to get that listing. Okay, so make sure you're utilizing those systems. Do you guys have any questions on that?
I have a question on marketing fees. So we can't market it anywhere, only to our agents in this office, but what about throughout Berkshire Hathaway, California? Like, in other words, there's some Facebook groups that are Berkshire Hathaway only groups. Can you market your listing through that?
Because it's to our company.
Okay, because I've had this listing for a month now, and I've showed up one time, and it's never going to be.
You know, but how can we see it? I mean, you have
You can
photos?
show
I
it.
can show it to you.
So you have to physically.
I have photos
Yes.
too.
We can show it,
Because I just saw. it somewhere else.
SELM,
Okay.
we can share it in our brokerage. Under Berkshire Hathaway, we can do it. We just can't market it out to the public. So yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, the third thing I wanted to share with you today, and I want this to be interactive too. One of the challenges I'm hearing sellers are telling the agents is they don't want to list their properties right now. A lot of them, that are thinking of maybe downsizing, for example. They don't want to list right now because they don't have a place to go due to the low inventory. And they're worried they're going to sell their home and then have to pay more for a smaller place, right? So I started thinking and I started going back and doing a little bit of research. So one of the tools that I use quite frequently is the trend graphic on the MLS. And I want to show this to you. The trend graphic, this is the past 5 years, okay? I want you to look at the chart. I want you to see, you can see that there is, these cycles. Inventory up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's about every, 10 years, there's in the cycle, right? I want to show you here, the highest points of inventory is February, March here. And then we come back over here and it's, what is this? That's probably January, February, March. You come here, February, March, February, March. Are you seeing the pattern where the highest amount of inventory hits every beginning of spring, February, March? That's when most listings hit the market, okay? Now I want to also show you the buyer strength. Other than a couple of small dips here, and that's 2020 when COVID hit and everything kind of came to a screeching halt in March, April. March and April was pretty tough. May was pretty tough. And then it came back around, right? And you can see that just by the chart here. So despite what goes on with the inventory, buyers remain strong no matter what. Now, if you're a seller, here's my question. Do you want to list your home when the masses put their homes on the market, right? So there's more competition for you. Or do you want to list your home now when there's less competition? where do you think, I mean, let's just think, put supply and demand, where are you gonna make the most money? So obviously now is, and they're gonna say, yeah, but that doesn't help me. Let's think about what they can do. So let's say we sell their home right now. What if, and I'm seeing it done every single day, and you can, if you're doing it at the time you're looking at offers, you can really negotiate a sweet deal. I promise you can. To do a lease back, just do a lease back for the seller for a couple of months. Seller, you don't have anywhere to go. How about we list your home in the MLS? We'll just say that you're going to close escrow. You want to lease it back for a couple of months to give you a chance to see, because everything's pointing to, and it's cyclical. Everything is pointing to there is going to be more inventory on the market come spring. If you watch Market Watch, if you listen to the experts, and I'm talking when I say the experts, NAR chief economists, CAR chief economists, they're all saying inventory will loosen up a bit in the spring. So with that said, they're selling now, they're getting top dollar for their home. They lease back for a couple of months, right? And now when more inventory hits the market, now they can find their home. And because there's more listings on the market, it's not such a buyer frenzy. Does that make sense? Number two is they'll have their money in the bank. So when they find their second home, they can just pay for it. They don't have to pay it with a COP. So if there's multiple offers, even in a few months down the line, you're still in a better position because the money is already in the bank. They're not having to do a contingent on the sale of the property. And by leasing back with an RLAS, residential lease after sale, I'm telling you, you can really negotiate an excellent rent back price for that seller, which could almost be half of what the normal rent is. So that's a big deal. What other ideas might you have or have you used to get sellers to overcome this?
How about our Apex program?
Yes, isn't that awesome? That's a great tool, and agents are getting listings every day using that as well. Did you want to? Oh, okay. What other ideas might you have? Look at this. Bring this down here, and I'm gonna. Let me show the grid. There we go. Hello. Now I can see some of your faces. Any comments? Any suggestions? Yes? No? You think that this is a good idea? You think this might be a helpful tool? Okay.
Gina,
Yes, ma'am.
it sounds like the lease back would be much more preferable than extending the escrow period. Is that fair to say? Certainly.
100%.
Okay.
Any long escrows make me nervous. I mean,
Right.
it can happen. In today's world, you don't want long escrow for any circumstance. So get that thing closed as fast as you can, and then do a lease back. And it's much safer, because if you have a long escrow, then you're in the same boat, right?
Right.
They still haven't closed escrow. They still have, they still are nervous about finding a house. When that money's sitting in the bank, they're more excited to go look for property than if they're just waiting, right?
Right.
It's kind of like the seller who says, I'd like to sell, but I really don't have anywhere to go yet. They can we show your house? No, not today. Right? I want to bring somebody by. Oh, it's not a good time. You get those answers when the sellers are not motivated, when they're nervous because they have nowhere to go, or there's something else there that's preventing this. But if they're motivated and they know where they want to go, that's even better. So get them out showing what you can now to get them excited about their next move. These are little tips that can make a difference in your listings and sales. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Does anybody not know what Apex is?
I'm not totally clear on it.
Okay. Thank you. Because I mean, I know we've been talking about it a lot. I want to make sure every person, at least in the Indian Wells office, says, oh yeah, I know Apex. Whether or not you're using it, I want you to acknowledge this is, I mean, it's a tool that you have available to you. Apex is phenomenal for either the buyers or sellers. If you go to the VAC, this picture that you see on my screen here, do you have questions about Apex? There's a great Q&A that you can click on through the VAC and get some questions answered. But Maria Hill, I sent out, was it last week, a video with Gordon Miles and Fred Bin. Fred is the owner of Zoom Casa, which powers Apex Concierge. He explains the program beautifully, much better than I can ever explain it. But and Maria Hill sent that video out to everybody, all agents yesterday. So when you get these emails from CA Marketing, that's from Maria Hill, and that's information tools that's going to help build your business. So if you don't have time to watch them when you see it, maybe just save them, and then when you're sitting at home having your cocktail at the end of the day or your refreshments, just kind of put one on and watch it. But basically, in a nutshell, Apex will do anything from decluttering to staging to total remodels, and they don't charge a penny until the listing sells and closes, and then their fee comes out of escrow. So it's excellent tool for a seller because they don't have to take any money out of their pocket to do this work, okay? On the buy side, they will purchase the buyer's home, for example, to allow a buyer to go make an offer that's not contingent on the sale of their property. It's a cash offer, or however they want to, if they want to do a loan, that's fine, whatever. But they can buy their next home. When they get into that next home, Apex now will go fix their prior property up. You get the listing on that property. It's a full commission listing. And now you get to sell that one too. And it's beautiful. They've got stats, they've got numbers that are showing that the buyers, or the sellers are getting, oh my goodness, like 30% more price of their home. For example, one of the things they put I think $17,000 of repairs on this home to fix it up to sell, and it got that seller $40,000 more in escrow. So, and they're selling quicker. So there's numbers out there to back it. It's a super duper tool. Oh my gosh, there are so many awesome farming materials that you can use for Apex. Whether it be postcards, I recommend putting everybody in your drip system. Again, get your farms uploaded to the CRM, get the emails from Melissa, and now put your farm on your drip system with neighborhood reports, and then you can supplement it with Apex. Great tools. I mean, these are not recipes, okay? These are tools that a seller is going to need and want when they're selling their home, okay? Question?
Gina?
Yes, hi, Ann.
Hello. I have a question. I don't know why I thought that there was a training that we could get on Apex to really master the tool. And I went on VAC and I couldn't find it.
Okay, so there's a couple different programs in Apex. Like everybody has the free basic. And the free basic, I think, is and you'll see the breakdown, is the consultation for the concierge service for the sellers. But then there's a middle one that's, I think it's $249 a year. When you sign up for that one, they will contact you and do a one-on-one training with you. So if just reach out to Apex if you've not gotten the training and say, you know, I'd like to schedule an appointment, and they will schedule a one-on-one with you.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. And by the way, you were awesome on Facebook Live. If you guys missed Ann Stark, you should go back to the Facebook Live and watch her. She was amazing. So thanks, Ann. Okay. Any other questions?
Gina,
okay. Yes.
it's Ellen. With the Apex, you want them to come in and, jazz up the house. Do they give you an estimate prior to your signing with them to
Oh
do
my
this?
gosh, yes. Oh, you have so many things. Yes, yes, yes. Here's kind of the timeline. So you go into your listing appointment, you bring the information about Apex, if the house warrants it. Maybe the house is just perfect, pristine, and doesn't need a thing. But, sometimes it needs a little TLC to get them up. Sometimes it might just need decluttering. Sometimes, they've got 1980 appliances sitting there that, oh my goodness, everything just needs to be upgraded, right? So we can introduce the seller to Apex, let them know we have this program available, maybe leave them with a Apex Q&A. Now your client says, well, I am interested in this as long as it doesn't cost me anything out of my pocket and it can come out of the equity and it's not that expensive. I don't want to spend all my equity on fixing a house, right? So if we can show them that if they put in the, X dollars in the house, they're going to get a return on their investment of even more, that's where it gets appealing to the sellers. So you're going to tell them, hey, how about I reach out? I will have someone from Apex, and let me schedule some time with them. We will sit down and they are going to go through your house with you, and then they're going to give you one estimate for everything. Alan's buying pizza. Most people, when they see the numbers, it's just phenomenal. But you'll sit down and let's say most people, when you're doing a remodel, they have to reach out. There's so many different contractors. And then of course you're waiting on estimates. With Apex, they use top-notch companies, or they can use the companies that the seller wants. I mean, these aren't limited, right? So they get these companies, they'll put everything in one estimate. They will show you, based on these numbers, here's what we anticipate your home will sell for. Down to the last penny, they will give them the estimate so they can show, here's what it's going to cost out of escrow, and here's how it's going to benefit you at close of escrow. So everything is in writing before you move forward. And then when the seller says, yes, this is what I want to do, then they go in and they do all these updates and make it happen. So it's a really simple process. There's agents that are doing the testimonials on the VAC. You're welcome to reach out to any of those agents and ask questions of really how the process went, if you have clients that are thinking about that.
But there's no guarantee. Okay, they come in and say it's going to cost you $20,000 to do the upgrades and whatnot, but you don't know what kind of price you're going to get on your home, so you don't really know how much you can put into the new home that you want to buy.
Okay, the home you're selling is the one Apex is going to come in.
Right, but you still don't. You're, as I say, 20,000. Well, you're hoping that you'll get the 20,000 out of the the offer.
You'll see the numbers. They're going to look at comps. Everything is done here in advance, so they're going to know if you're going to be able to list your house at this price when we do these upgrades.
Okay.
So they're going to know this. I might be putting 20 grand into it, but I'm getting 40,000 return on my investment. Right.
Okay.
So they'll know all these numbers before they agree to even move forward. And then when they sign off on it, they do the work, they list the house, and bam, it sells, and they can move on with more money than they would have had it not been upgraded. And It's not for everybody. This is only for the people who want top dollar out of their house. There's that element that say, I'm fine, I'll just sell it the way it is. I understand there's going to be some repairs, but I'm good with that. And that's going to be your standard sale. And then there's going to be the sellers that say, I need to get out of here. I have got to be moved in the next 3 weeks. I don't care. My house is a dump. It's falling apart. I'm selling it as is. Well, that might be something for our Zavvy platform in the VAC, which is our iBuyer platform. So no matter where your sellers are, I want you to just understand what you have at your fingertips. So you'll be able to get that listing, whether it's through Zavvy for the iBuyer platform, whether it's a standard sale, or whether they want a top dollar and go with Apex. It's all available to the client.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions on Apex? No, okay. And let's just move down. I think we're getting through here. Remember, Maria Hill is a wealth of information, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and give her a call. Today, Facebook Live with Mark Stark. Make sure you're listening to those every week. Even if you can't tune in at 1:30, you can always go back to his Facebook page and watch him later. Especially last week's was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. Today between 1 and 2, intro to VAC. If you click on the calendar in the VAC, you'll see the intro is today. Tomorrow is intro to your CRM at 1 o'clock and mobility RE at 3. Thursday is covering the drip systems and buy-side. So there's something, if you're not sure about how these systems work, make sure you're logging in and keeping your skill saw sharp in there. Monday is President's Day. It's a holiday. Woo-hoo! So we will not have a meeting on Tuesday, just letting you know. So you're not looking for it next Tuesday. So thank you. Okay, and then convention. I know a few of you have signed up, but I wanted to let you know, if you paid for bulk registration with Diane Ray right at the beginning when this came out, all those are going to be moved over to the virtual registration automatically, and you will be getting a refund for any money that you paid because it is now free to everyone, which I think is fantastic. I can't encourage you enough to tune in and take advantage of these 3 days. It's really a life-changing experience to see just how awesome this company is, number one, but number two, the university sessions that are available they're being brought to you by the best leaders in the real estate industry. It's phenomenal, the information that you get, the questions you get answered. And so, and of course the awards, and then there's entertainment that you can click into. John Legend is the entertainment for the Sunshine Donation Kids. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be having it here on Monday and Tuesday in the office. But if you want to do your own breakout sessions at home and visit wherever you want on your own, I strongly recommend you going into the Resource Center and just type convention at the top in search bar, and you'll get that information. There is a hotline. The phone number is right here in our meeting handout that you can call for any questions. But the link will be sent out later in March before the event so that you'll be able to join in. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's awesome. And then here's the agenda, just so you can see it. And again, just go to the Resource Center to register. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
So we're just gonna have it in here.
Yeah. And I'm hoping by March that, it's toward the end of March, we'll be in a much better position. Most of us will have had our shots, our second shots or whatever. So, it's just getting better and better, and maybe we'll bring food and we'll just party and have a good time. It'll be fun.
Wait, only if Mary Ann bakes.
Oh, I bet Mary Ann would bake something if we asked her. Okay. Right, Mary Ann? I know. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here for a second. Get back
Put
to
in your request. I'll bake anything you want.
We knew you would. Thank you. You're so awesome. All right, I'm going to look in the chat here. It looks like there's one question. Okay, learn about it. Okay, any other questions for me on anything we talked about today? Escalation clauses, getting listings in today's environment, SELMs, what we're gonna do for dinner tonight? No.
Well, I have a question. How did you guys you're up to your second COVID shot already? I had to drive down to San Diego to get my first one.
Well, some are getting their seconds. I haven't gotten my first one. I'm waiting. I'm waiting patiently until they get to someone as young as me.
We must have some.
There's advantages to being old. I've got my first one already. Another week and a half, I get my second.
Woo! That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, I'm no spring chicken either, and I haven't been able to get an appointment. So I had to drive.
Here's what I found out. Debbie Stein told me this. If you go to the County of Riverside's website and you click, I guess, on the COVID link, and then scroll down to the place where it says other locations, If you click on that, yeah, these locations will pop up. She's been helping agents get these things scheduled. So they're going in and getting shots when they weren't able to do so before. So
I've been doing that. And there are no, at Albertsons and Ralph's, I think, there are no appointments available. Or at the county.
try Costco.
I saw a bunch of people.
On the
talking.
news,
Costco's
on the news this
and I know
morning,
I've had agents go there and get their shots. As long as you fall into the tier that they're allowing.
Yeah,
on the
well, I
news-
do. And I'm not seeing anything on the websites I'm going to, not one.
Lance, on the,
Yeah, check with Debbie Stein, or, just, check and see if you can find it for Costco.
Well,
'Cause
I'm already set up in San Diego, so I'll just drive down there again to get my second one. That's all.
Lance,
Yeah.
on the news this morning, Walgreens and CVS within the next 2 weeks will start giving them.
Right.
So.
All right.
If you
No,
can't,
inside the San Diego's never bad either.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Wait, you can stop and say hi to Katie Vellet.
Yeah.
Our lovely Katie. Okay, any other questions, plugs, wants?
Gina, I have one question regarding the training on the VAC.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of trainings. Is there any way, or that they could record it and
I
put
think
them
they do.
available when we can? Because every time I'm kind of thinking, oh, I can do this, and then you have a client and I can't sign up.
Yeah, no, I think they are recorded, and it's
No.
on the PAC. You can go to training recordings. It's on the top link under resources. And
Yes,
so-
I've been there, but they're not all recorded. You don't have all of them.
Okay, let me ask Chris then and see if he can throw some more up there.
This would be nice. Thank
Okay,
you.
great, thank you. Anything else? Okay, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope, was it helpful? Did you get anything from it? Yes? Super.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
amazing, Jean.
yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, have a great week. I'm here for you, and let's go get some listings. And
Thank you.
sell them.
Bye-bye. Have a good
All
one.
right, bye, guys. See you
Bye.
soon.
Bye. Bye. Thank you, Gina.
You're welcome.